You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. What a week it has been as we complete our first, not quite full, but mostly full week here in the Newsmax studios, brand new studios that I effectively built. Had some help getting this thing engineered and working and everything, running over my headphone cord here real quick. But anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. Wow. What a week. What a week it has been. We moved in here. It was an empty room. There was bare walls, and there was one side had some sound reinforcement material on it. We made it into a man cave. I mean, it's really cool. I'm going to post a video here on it in a few minutes. You can see it. I put up all the stuff. And anyway, we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff we haven't done before, like having live in-studio guests, among other things, and we'll be meeting. I've already met a ton of people here, by the way, some really interesting people. I met Sarah Carter. You know Sarah Carter, the journalist? She just kicks butt. And I had a delightful conversation with Sarah Carter. I've met all sorts of folks here, and we're going to have them in the studio as time goes on, and the show is gonna be it's gonna get even better. I know it's hard to believe it could get better, but no, it actually can. It actually can. So anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. What is up with all the smoke from Canada? Yeah, honestly, we got Canadian secondhand smoke here. I didn't even notice it. And I got people here who are freaking out about the Canada smoke in Washington, D.C. Look how far south we are of Canada, and everybody's freaking about the smoke. I didn't notice the smoke. Maybe it's because, I was one of those Gen X kids whose moms and dads smoked in the car, and then when I would try to roll down the window, literally I would roll it down about a quarter of an inch because my parents would get really mad at me, and I would put my nose up by the window like a fish gasping for air lying on the beach dying. And my dad would say, "Roll that window up," puffing his pipe, and Mom would be smoking her cigarette. "Yeah, roll the window up. This smoke's good for you." So maybe I don't even notice it. It's weird. When you sell cars, I sold cars for a while. The only people who buy cars that were owned by smokers, because they don't notice it. I'm not a smoker, but I didn't notice all the smoke. But everybody's freaking out. "Oh yeah, smoke is terrible. Oh my God!" It's like even the people who smoke weed every day are like, the guy down on the street corner smoking that skunk weed is like, "Oh, I can barely breathe here. Hold on, let it blaze up a little bit. Oh, that smoke is killing me." But apparently there's a lot of smoke going on. So it's interesting because last night Donald Trump delivered an address where he delivered unassailable evidence of China at least having your and my information as voters, because 220 million voters' information was gleaned by communist China. The media is, of course, denying this because they trust China more than us, and they haven't noticed that China's been spying on us forever. They steal our intellectual properties. And then, of course, there's a country also that has about 1 million Uyghurs working in slave sweatshops, and they're arresting Christians by the thousands. They also did this thing where they killed baby girls because they wanted baby boys. And so if a baby girl was born, they'd leave the baby girl on the side of the road, let her die, and then get eaten by buzzards. Other than that, and then, of course, they crushed all those kids with Tiananmen Square. So certainly we'd want to listen to China. We certainly want to trust China because China would never do something like getting involved with the American elections. Anyway, shades of 2020 all over again. This is John King last night. All of the letter networks decided for their viewers that they were, it's like, remember in the 80s when you were 15 and there was an R-rated movie and wanted to go see it, and your mom would insist she go with you and then cover your eyes at certain points during the movie. That ever happened to you? That happened to me. My older sister did it. We went to see like 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy, and about 4 F-bombs in, she was like going, la, la, la. That's your media for you. Your media saying, no, we've got this. We will watch it for you. We do not want you to watch this speech. But at the end of it, we're going to tell you what we think of it. It is so remarkable. It's so friggin' remarkable. It's so Soviet that the ABC, CBS, NBC, the CNN, MS Now would not run Donald Trump's speech, the President of the United States, talking about all of the letter agencies of government, information gleaned during the Biden administration. Of China, at least attempting to corrupt our elections by gleaning tens of millions of our voting information, and there's all sorts of other shenanigans that they did as well. But the media just decided that they were going to close your ears and close your eyes and hum and sing happy birthday, and then they were going to tell you what they thought of the thing that you didn't see. It is remarkable. Here's John King being your dad.
A quick reminder to our viewers, we'll be watching tonight's presidential address and listening to what the president says.
There it is. Hold on.
A quick reminder to our viewers, we'll be watching tonight's presidential address and
we're going to watch it for you.
Listening to what the president says tonight. But we're not going to take it live, as we've been discussing. That's because this president, sadly, has a history of misleading and in some cases simply false statements on what we've been talking about tonight, election security and integrity. Also, the White House earlier today said he would be...
Then what you do is you play the speech and then you respond in real time, or after the speech you point it out. You don't just shut down the speech. That makes it really, really, really suspicious and really, really, really Stalinistic.
Showing newly classified documents, so we want to make sure that we have time to review those documents, talk to experts about them, contextualize whatever he says or shows before airing it. But if there is news, we will bring it to you ASAP.
Yeah, and we will bring it through you through our filter, because 97% of the time, the news that we give you about Donald Trump is negative. Everything that he does, even when it's profoundly positive, we make into a negative. But you can trust us on this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Of course, this is all data that was gleaned by the letter agencies, the spy agencies associated with the federal government, information gleaned during the Biden administration that Donald Trump has decided to declassify, but the media says that he's lying. Here is the president last night talking about all of the voter files that China had.
The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election.
These are not documents that Donald Trump just printed up.
Cycle.
Yeah.
The People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files.
Now, that's you and me, by the way. The communist Chinese, I mean, in case I don't know, maybe a little bit worried about it. A lot of times you worry about somebody stealing your identity. China did that to you and me. They had my name, they had your name, they might have had your social security number, address, the whole deal. They had everything. They knew how you're going to vote and the whole deal.
That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political...
That's nothing to worry about. It's just a Chinese Communist Party knowing exactly where you are.
Party preferences and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening.
Wow, but then again, other than the murders and the censorship and all that and the stealing of the intellectual property, China is okay. Here's more Donald Trump.
The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information.
Yeah, all the information that they discovered about China, stealing voter information, etc., was kept from Donald Trump by the letter agencies of our federal government.
Showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason.
Now, in 2016, they tried to say that the Russians were interfering because they wanted Trump to win. There was no compelling interest for Russia to want Donald Trump to be the president. He's a hawk on defense, a hawk on the economy and energy, and all of this, a Reagan-esque conservative. However, Hillary Clinton had already been bought and paid for as the Secretary of State, signing off on the Uranium One deal, and then the Russian oligarchs, who were actually investors in that company, gave her Clinton Foundation, the Global Initiative, $150 million. Okay, that's absolutely true. That's irrefutable truth. So who do you suppose that the Russians would have liked to have had be the president?
As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote.
Now, between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who do you suppose that the communist Chinese would want as the president? A president who would allow a Chinese spy balloon to hover over our most sensitive military bases for an entire week before shooting it down, who'd gotten $35 million from the Chinese Communist Party to 27 LLCs, 9 different family members, and $165 million to the Biden at Penn State, the Biden Institute at Penn State, or Donald Trump, the guy who was making sure that trade is even between China, bringing offshoring manufacturing from China back in the United States, taking a hard line against China when they wanted to take over Taiwan, taking away the Panama Canal from China. Who do you suppose that China would rather have had in 2020 as the president?
In mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his...
There's a guy named Neville Singham, Royal Neville Singham, lives in China right now, works for the Chinese Communist Party to promote left-wing causes and tear down Donald Trump and the MAGA agenda.
Re-election. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's weird.
Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential...
This is all from intelligence that Donald Trump is declassifying. He didn't write it.
...election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot.
Kind of like CNN, MS Now, ABC, CBS, NBC do every single day, 97% of the time.
When actually your president has done a great job. And they did everything possible to do exactly that.
Yeah, because that's what China does. They do it all over the world. The evidence is irrefutable. They are involved in geopolitics to promote the Chinese Communist Party and leftism around the world. Why wouldn't that be the case in the United States of America? We've got much, much more on this. We've got the unusual suspects today, Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal, Mary Walter from Mary Walter Radio, Christian Toto, HollywoodandToto.com, all on a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show, broadcasting live from the Newsmax studios in the heart of the swamp, Washington, D.C., and we'll be back in a minute. unofficially an American flag, period. It's a Blue Lives Matter American flag.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
Donald Trump's speech was full of outright lies, dangerous disinformation, and yet again his attempts to undermine and subvert our democracy. Now he knows he's headed toward midterm losses, and his only hope is to undermine.
Ms. Cory Booker, how are we going to lose in the midterms? You have no plan at all. You're leaning into communism, and you're insane.
The validity and trust in our elections.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of problem with the American elections. That's why 80% plus of Americans on both parties want the SAVE Act. You know why they want the SAVE Act? You know why they want voter ID? Because they don't trust the voting process right now.
Let him do it. We have work to do against a desperate president.
Well, he's not desperate at all.
Willing to do whatever it takes.
You guys are desperate.
To try to stop us from voting and participating. We will fight. He will lose. The people will win.
Wow, they just are all upset. Honestly, if they were all upset, what are they doing? I mean, they stopped Donald Trump's speech from being aired last night and then told you what they thought of it so you wouldn't watch it. It really is remarkable. Here is Katie Pavlich and Catherine Herridge. Catherine Herridge is a great investigative reporter, and this speech was entirely made up of documents that have been declassified by America's intelligence agencies, not by Donald Trump lackeys, not by Donald Trump himself. Here's Catherine Herridge on the speech.
Well, I think it's a very significant announcement, not only what he said, but the fact that they are releasing these documents so that we can really fact check the claims we heard this evening. I've been digging into the documents already, and I found that
Catherine Herridge is not a right-wing whatever. She is a legit journalist, right down the middle. I've met her actually a couple of times, and she is a true journalist.
this November 2020 email, and it specifically states, it's a conversation among intelligence officials. It specifically states that they have, quote, deliberately massaged one of our pending PDBs, that's the president's daily brief, to avoid any direct links to the election, and that is consistent with my reporting. I understand the whistleblower complaint alleged, and I think we're now seeing it in the emails, that there was an intentional effort to suppress intelligence about China's influence operations. And this was, Katie, like a massive
Yeah, they knew that China was involved in trying to influence the elections, and they kept Donald Trump in the dark about it.
For what they call a multi-domain operation. That means trade, it means diplomacy, it means open source information, it means social media. So all the levers of power China had to influence the U.S. elections.
And you're
wow, imagine that from the nice, kind, and awesome Chinese who murder their own people.
Reporting, you've said that a senior intelligence official emphasized to you that in 2020, China was not held to the same standard as Russia and other adversaries, including North Korea, Iran, and proxies like Hezbollah, and that the Chinese influence operations were consistently downplayed while Russia's were routinely amplified. You also talked about this whistleblower who was reportedly retaliated against for trying to bring this information to light.
Oh, that never happens. No, it happens all the time.
So in the summer of 2020, as we're heading into the election, in the intelligence community, there were indicators of this Chinese influence operation. Influence operations means that you're trying to affect the outcome of how people vote or their sentiment about a presidential candidate. It's different than an interference operation, which is penetrating voting rolls and voter systems. And this whistleblower was raising the alarm about the influence operation, and then suddenly it all was suppressed.
Kind of like what CNN did with Donald Trump's last night and his speech, and NMS Now and ABC, CBS, NBC.
My understanding is that some of their reports, there were in officials' own handwriting that they wanted everything out that could help President Trump in his reelection.
They wanted everything out that would help Donald Trump.
So there was clear evidence of political and personal bias, and intelligence is supposed to be neutral. So what we heard tonight from the president is an allegation that this intelligence was suppressed in order to harm him. And now we're seeing documents already which back up those claims.
I don't believe ABC, CBS, NBC, MS Now, and CNN covered any of that. Here is another great journalist, John Solomon.
Well, listen, I talked to the intelligence chiefs in the last few days as we got prepared for this. It's very important to understand, the president said this tonight, every intelligence chief vetted this speech. They made sure it was accurate. They told me...
What? Really? The CIA and the DHS and the FBI and everybody vetted it and made sure it was accurate?
They had never been briefed on the size of the breaches, the 230 million Americans, the 220 million Americans whose data was stolen, that they consider it a security breach. How many times on your network have you reported that 5 countries are capable of hacking our election machines? When is the last time you reported that Venezuela actually succeeded in breaching a machine which has implications for our future security? You haven't, because it was never made public. It has not been made to Congress. It's not been told to the president in the past. We checked the presidential daily briefs. A president was kept from this information.
Wow.
Now we have a chance to fix a glass chin of election security, make the 26th election more secure.
Yeah, and the Democrat Party don't want that because they can't win on ideas because they're nuts. And in case you didn't notice, the Democrat Party takes the same tack as the Chinese Communist Party, doing everything they can to take down Donald Trump, to demean everything that he's doing, even when it's good, like opening child savings accounts. There are Democrats who don't want kids who are in the adoption process from getting one of those savings accounts because Donald Trump. Unbelievable. More on this. Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal joins us next on a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted again, he says he felt better again. You know something's working when you run out of it. I started taking Relief Factor 6 months ago. I ride 30 miles on a Saturday morning on my mountain bike and lift weights every other day, and I feel great. People like Jim make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor help you tackle your daily aches and pains. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. They will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story with us, too. 800-4RELIEF or ReliefFactor.com.
They're saying that Joe Biden has written a new book. But we know he's not capable, not that old senile crook. He can't even write his name, an auto pen was used because Sleepy Joe is always confused. Anonymously written, Joe Biden's book will be about the worst president in U.S. history. Real author will be unknown, you know it won't be Joe, because his brain is moving very slow. Not one single word written by Joe. They're ghost writing Biden's book.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Reminder to our viewers, we'll be watching tonight's presidential address and listening to what the president says tonight. But we're not going to take it live, as we've been discussing. That's because this president, sadly, has a history of misleading and in some cases simply false statements on what we've been talking about tonight, election security and integrity. Also, the White House earlier today said he would be showing newly classified documents, so we want to make sure that we have time to review those documents, talk to experts about them, contextualize whatever he says.
Thank God that CNN is there to watch what we can't watch and then tell us what they think about it. Joining us to talk about this, it's so very CCP. It is so very Soviet Union. It is so very Pravda and Izvestia, but that's the American media, and it doesn't surprise anyone. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, one of our favorite guests, one of the unusual suspects on Friday, Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal. Welcome, my friend. How are you on this Friday?
I'm just trying to dig through everything.
I know.
And it's amazing. You would think the media would be helpful in helping you dig through some things.
Yeah.
And it was, I knew where I was going to be able to catch the address, as a lot of people do who watch this constantly. But trying to flip through the networks and getting all of these preliminary fact checks, yeah, I didn't care for that. I didn't care for that at all.
Well, I haven't had a chance to dig through all of the documents. I've got some of the rudimentary stuff on the front page of the website that Donald Trump promoted last night. But clearly, these the facts that he said last night during the address were vetted by the intelligence agencies. They were. This is intelligence that was gathered during the Biden administration, for God's sake, and hidden from Donald Trump. What else do you know, my friend? What have you discovered?
So I've got a couple of things here. So first and foremost, again, it's kind of a media accountability measure. Outlets, networks like CBS, who immediately after the president said anything at all regarding election data or election integrity, they said none of this is true. They didn't actually stop and say, hey, look, the president has made some statements. You know, the president, he's said some things. We're going to dig through them, and we're going to report it on the meantime with Donald Trump said this, he cited this. That's all you got to do. That's what I'll do tonight. Yeah. This is what the president said. This is what we looked through. Now, what we've looked through. China is an enemy of the United States.
Yes.
We should not be importing 600,000 Chinese students a year just because they pay the American university system money. And this is my one gripe, one with the president.
Yep.
Mr. President, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm thankful that you've released this to the American people. Cut China off. Cut them off.
Yeah.
Either be serious or don't. I either want to see arrests. I want to see this FBI agent who said she's operating a shadow government in the United States needs to be brought up on charges of treason.
Of course.
I mean, that's an obvious one. And then other than that, yes, China, every Chinese national in the United States right now, visa revoked. Visa revoked, national security issue. Everyone.
100%. And also the fact that China imported, over 40,000 military-aged men over the southern border, so they are embedded in the United States. And what is remarkable is like, okay, here's Marge Brennan last night. Here's what she did before the address.
Ahead of this, I did reach out to Chinese officials who were already prepared with a rebuttal here. I'll read it to you. The quote is, China has long adhered to the principle of non-interference in others' internal affairs. The U.S. election is an internal matter. Its outcome determined by the American people. China never and will never interfere in the presidential elections of the United States. Now, what was assessed by the intelligence community and made public as recently as I'm looking at April 2020, I want to read for you what was in the National Intelligence Council. It said Chinese intelligence officials analyzed multiple states' election voter registration data to conduct public opinion analysis on the 2020 U.S. general election.
Yeah, and we didn't kill those kids at Tiananmen Square. I mean, can you freaking believe this?
I don't see why you have to fact-check Donald Trump by going to the Chinese officials. And I mean this in all seriousness, because I am not, like alongside a lot of Republicans are very, the entire election of 2020 was stolen in every single way, shape, and form. And I don't know if, based on the data and the evidence that I've seen, I am there. However, when it comes to actually digging through each one of these claims in the intelligence reports, you know what I don't do? Say, well, Donald Trump must be wrong. I'm going to work as hard as I can and just go to the exact opposite. Go to Russia. Go to China.
And take China's word for it, dude. Dude, here's the thing. They're taking China's word for it, not Donald Trump's, even though he was reading a vetted speech that was vetted by the letter agencies, the letter intelligence agencies, declassified papers, but they chose, like the media has chosen to believe the IRGC and the Ayatollah over CENTCOM.
Excellent point.
I mean, honestly.
Excellent point. And this is one of the things that frustrates me, because I actually so the recent drone strike on the ship approaching Karg Island, I had the opportunity to actually watch that live before CENTCOM had kind of released the footage.
Wow!
And I remembered watching as some of those strikes were happening on the bow of that particular tanker headed towards Karg. I said, the Iranians are immediately going to say that none of this happened.
Of course.
And it was hilarious because it's exactly what had occurred. And then there were 3 American outlets that are, without a fail, cited the Iranian state media.
I know.
It's like, yeah, I don't have an issue if they're going to list their comment, but when you treat it as a counter source, that is embarrassing.
It is.
It's like going to Graham Plattner about sexual assault allegations.
Now, yeah, exactly. Let's ask his mom. No, he would never do anything like that.
My baby's a sweet boy.
He is. He's a sweet boy. That skull and crossbones tattoo because he likes pirates.
Oh, don't we all?
Exactly. But it is remarkable to me that the letter networks and MS Now and CNN they have completely rejected the First Amendment for towing a party line, which is Soviet. This is why they're not fighting so hard against these the Democrat socialist movement in America, not really asking a lot of hard questions, because they want to be on the right side. They will accept the leadership of their new overlords.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that I think is really silly. So Jake Tapper's a very good example of this. This is a guy who very, very muchly so wants to be seen as Walter Cronkite. He wants to be seen as like the independent, kind of always nose to the grindstone style journalist, anchor, and host.
Yeah, no.
And yet he gets into these situations, and many over at the various networks get into these situations where they are so desperate to be perceived in a certain way that it colors their reporting. And I got to tell you, I just don't care about all of you that much to change myself for you. I don't. I can't imagine changing the things that I'm going to say because someone out there is going to say mean things about me. And I'll be real with you. The President of the United States doesn't seem to have that issue either, and that's one of the things I like about the man.
Yeah, it is. We've got much more to cover on the other side of the break, including this lovely individual running for Senate in the state of Maine, Ashley Webb. Ashley Webb. Who's got kind of a lazy eye, among other things. And we'll talk about that on the other side of the break with Tony Kinnett. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.com.
Have a rejoin.
Okay.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections.
Why would you register to vote? What happens when you register to vote, Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal? Why do you suppose people would register to vote?
Oh, I'm guessing it's because there's this fancy little card that they send you in the, what do they call that? The mail.
Oh, yes,
and they send it to you. And then, you see, you or if you're in Los Angeles, someone can come up to you, and if you're homeless, and then say, "Hey, I'll take that ballot," and then they're so helpful. They fill it out for you. They don't even make you put people's candidate names on there.
And to thank you, they give you cigarettes and $3. And that, I got to tell you, that's a humanitarian gesture as far as I'm concerned.
I tell you what, nothing has done more for corrupt convenience stores and hookers than the mail-in ballot. I tell you what.
Well, you know what? I could insert a ho-ho line here because that's what you buy at convenience stores. And you can also buy that on the street corner. Okay, anyway.
Speaking of what people look like on street corners, Maine Senate election.
Oh, dude, I got to play a little bit of this transgendered, and I mean, why bother? Ashley Webb, who has a lazy eye, was asked about his, her, they, their, them's qualifications.
So, Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did.
Oh, no way, really?
Run, and then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books, and then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
actually, still more qualified than that woman from New York, Chevalier.
I love it. I loved it. I actually saw this clip. It was sent to me 3 different times.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe any of the time. I was like, this can't be real. I went and looked. First of all, the other clips from the debate, there's this lady who is the least charismatic person on earth, probably related to Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
And then you get to Slagathor, who, again, appears as though Gollum and Sid the Sloth had a child.
Yes.
And bought him a brown wig. It's a very exciting time. They're wearing a dress straight out of a 1995 JCPenney catalog.
Yes,
and they're telling us about their literature. You know what? I say elect them. Mazie Hirono's been the dumbest member of the Senate for too long.
Dude.
I say shuffle the cards.
Here is a little bit more from Ashley Webb about what he, she, they, them calls pork barreling, which apparently is when they take money and they put it in bills so that they take the money to their constituents.
I believe they called it pork bellying.
Pork bellying.
Not the pork bellying.
It's pork bellying.
All the bills. I'm sure that would save a lot of money as well, but.
All right, David Custer.
Okay, oh wow, that's like transgendered Chris Farley from Tommy Boy.
Okay, well, which is hilarious because we just had Haley Stevens this week. So like Haley Stevens, Abdul El-Sayed's opposite is like with a van down by the river.
Oh my God, was she spectacular? Oh my Lord!
Incredible. And now again, Slagathor with the pork bellying. Again, I'm all here for it. I say, don't deceive us anymore. Give us the pork barreling, my precious. Oh, God. I'm loving it. The rest of the candidates look like they had a disease whenever he started speaking, and they can't say anything because they all flew the little Pride Progress flag earlier this year. Oh, the joy.
I got to tell you. So, obviously we have to take the Democrat Socialists of America seriously. However, and I want to posit this theory because they are saying that they'll get rid of the Senate. They're going to take away the election of the president. They're going to do it to the House of Representatives. They're going to get rid of the Department of Defense. They're going to get rid of the borders. None of that can be accomplished legislatively because you have to swear on the Constitution to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. The only way to usher in those kind of changes would be through an act of war. And I consider this speech words of war. What are you thinking about this movement? There appears to be a little tiny bit of pushback from the Democrats. What's going to happen to it?
So I would assert that the Trump administration start making arrests.
Yeah,
and again,
100%.
What if this some like federal judge from Nowhere Cares, Virginia or Wisconsin or California says you can't do that? You tell that federal judge to shut up. And then you go and you do whatever it is anyway. Now, again, I've recommended one of two options. Either deport them to Laos or, number two, find a fun helicopter and give some free rides. Some of these people, like you said, they are literally declaring war on the country.
Yes.
They are inciting and calling directly for bloody violence.
Yes.
That all of that is illegal. Again, either defend the country or step out of the way. And I think that's going to be one of the things we look at in the next couple of years.
And then there's Tim Volz, who says that if you rape a child for 2 years, you're just having a bad day.
Well, speaking to the news media today, the governor was asked about the 42-year-old father's recent deportation.
Did that make us any safer? Did that make the children that are left behind any more stable? Did it improve the idea that we can't all be judged by our worst day?
That's your worst day when you raped a child for 2 years. It's just your worst day. Was your worst day that bad, Tony?
No, again, I know that all of the other Democrats, whether you're Ruben Gallego or Graham Plattner or Eric Swalwell, like all of these guys apparently think their worst day is, I mean, come on, haven't we all engaged in the worst possible things you can do? No, for me, I think my worst day that I ever had is that I think I flipped off 3 cars in a row on I-70.
Yeah.
That's about as bad as it's gotten because I'm a normal person.
Yeah, won't get you deported to Laos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still hoping, fingers crossed.
Well, you know what I know your best day is? When you're on the Rob Carson Show on Friday. What a great way to end that segment. Right.
And what a great show to end that on.
Tell us about your show tonight, my friend.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to do what every good Baptist is going to do, and I'm probably likely to find my way to at least something to drink. Yes. And then tonight at 7 p.m., Daily Signal over on YouTube, you can find us there. And we are going to break down all of this, including the wily history of Slagathor of Maine.
I love it. Tony Kinnett, God bless you, brother. Have a glorious weekend, all right?
Rob, you're the best.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Slagathor. Hi, kids. Let's hold on one second. I got to find Slagathor here real quick. Give me that back here. Ashley Webb. Hi. Wow. So I just posted a video of the studio. If you're interested, it's on Twitter. I'm going to add it to the other social media at Rob Carson Show. Look at all the folks talking today. Timothy McNulty, good to talk to you. Bennett Cootie, or Cood, Ice Baby, good to see you. Tesla Investment, I don't know what that is, but you better not be a troll. Who else? We got new names here, man. This is kind of cool. Christopher C71. The SAVE Act hooking it up to the defense bill. Hi, IT Pool. Rob, what's up, Rockstar? Did you send a case of Gas X to Chuck Schumer? No, I did not. He is a stinky one, isn't he? Did you see that thing I put up online? They had a meme of him as a Grecian warrior, a Farticus. Auto Cannon, how you doing today? Good to see you around the pony. Dookie Bear. Let's see who's watching on X. No comments on X. We got to get these. We got a lot of viewers on X. We need to get more chat on X. And over on Facebook, I'll try and load up Facebook here real quick. But I'm glad you're watching us over there on the Facebookage. There we are. Who's watching? Get off that message, you darn thing here. Robert Lawson. Golden Arrow, don't know what you are, but it's good to see you there, whatever. Glad to have you there. Linda Andrew, Abdul Hamid, thanks for joining us today. Hope you're enjoying the show. Time for me to talk. There you go.
So Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now.
Yeah, that is Ashley Webb, one of the Democrats running to replace Graham Plattner as a Senate candidate in Maine. And it was It was like doing a live shot from the asylum. I mean, it really was just glorious. It's absolutely glorious. And the reason why people like, as Tony Kinnett called that person, Slagathor, are running for president because no decent, smart, sane human beings want to run for office in the Democrat Party right now because they're out of their freaking noodles. I had another bit of Slagathor talking last night.
Ashley Webb, if you were in the U.S. Senate, how would you address the deficit problem? And please give me specifics.
This should be good.
I think cutting spending, looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the best way to cut the spending. A lot of
Here's guys pushing like 280, wearing white shoes with a sundress.
He's being paid to like for the reflecting pool. We paid that contract to redo the reflecting pool, and it didn't fix the problem. It still has algae growing in it. Anybody who knows a pool knows
this is fourth grade class president debate.
That's going to grow if you're not properly filtering the pool water.
That I'm going to jump in because that is a microscopic amount of money compared to what the federal budget is.
It is.
Give me some proposals
the ballroom
that would have a real impact either in spending cuts or in increased taxes.
When a bill gets passed, sometimes they tack on extra incentives to get senators to vote on these bills.
Pork bellying. It's called pork bellying. Yeah, that's what he calls it.
For the Obamacare, it was one group got youth arrows added to the bill. That should have been added. Like,
my God. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. As I said, the Democrat Party doing a death spiral into hell and also providing some great comic relief. We've got much more coming up, including the White House teleprompter operator has been suspended for betting on presidential speeches and winning money. All right, among other things. And then, of course, a Marine has now been arrested for threatening to kill Donald Trump because he's the Antichrist. And Mary Walter, all in the second hour of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.
don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
Hold it now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Completing week number 1, broadcasting here from the new studio that I and a couple of other people here, including a guy named Don Brown, built. And if you want to see a tour of it, I just did a little video this morning. It's amazing. I've got a PhD at HGTV, by the way. And this would be the 4th time I built a broadcast studio and engineered it. And this is a nice little space. It's about the size of a decent-sized walk-in closet or a small guest bedroom. And still, we will have enough room for 2 cameras and 2 guests along with the host. It's kind of crazy, right, what you can do with little things. That's been the mantra my entire life. Anyway, welcome to the show. Make sure to watch my TV show this weekend, will ya? It's called Rob Carson's What in the World. It is on Newsmax. It is Newsmax's only political comedy show. It runs Saturdays at 3 in the afternoon, and again Sunday night at 8:30 following Dick Morris. No, it's not Dick Morris' show. It is Dr. Michael Savage's show. This week is very funny. It's also the first show we did here from the new studio in the Newsmax building in the heart of Washington, D.C. A little bit more on Donald Trump's speech last night about election integrity.
In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China
yeah.
and many others.
Yeah.
We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again.
Now, I was watching here in the newsroom, they've got all the monitors of the other networks, and MS Now just had on the bottom of the screen, Trump delivers speech filled with lies. I mean, it really is. It's Soviet. It's Soviet what the media has done. Last night, this speech featured unclassified materials from the letter agencies, compiled evidence during the Biden administration and before, and the letter networks chose not to air it, but to say at the beginning of the broadcast, this is unprecedented in American broadcast history, that we are not going to play the president because he's lying about this. And then afterwards, spend the entire broadcast saying it was all a lie. It really is. It's if the shoe were on the other foot, and Democrats never think this way, but if the shoe were on the other foot, you'd be freaking out. But we've just become so bloody calloused to this nonsense, this Soviet nonsense. And I have been living through this for 35 freaking years of this. With Rush Limbaugh, when I was writing for Rush Limbaugh, for 30 years that he was on the air, the media would lie about him. The advertisers would boycott him. There were agencies that said to boycott him, tried to kill him in every sense of the word. Economically, he wanted to buy the St. Louis Rams. He wanted to be a part owner, and they said he was somehow a racist, and they shot down that. And they went after all of his advertisers. So I mean, again, I've been witnessing this for a very, very long time. And so to me, it's like I expect it. But for those who've just been able to experience no censorship, to be able to just go about your ways and have your beliefs parroted, your leftist beliefs parroted by the networks without any question whatsoever, not asking serious questions of any Democrat politicians, regardless, whether it be corruption or whatever, that's fine for you, all right? It must be easy to know that your news agrees with you all the time, and your news covers up the news that they don't want you to see. And so you just go, yeah, Donald Trump's evil, and 97% of the time the news is negative about him, and you just go on with your business. We're just kind of used to it. It's weird. It's kind of funny because Hillary Clinton back in 2019 literally asked the Chinese to interfere in the upcoming 2020 election.
You know, the only other adversary of ours who's anywhere near as good as the Russians is China. So why should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly backing Republicans.
No, not at all. They're not at all, not even close. Republicans are the worst things for the Russians, and I'm not going to explain why. She was bought and sold by the Democrats in 2016.
Why don't we ask China to back us?
I hereby tonight ask China.
That's right. And not only that.
She's literally asking China to help out the Democrat Party to make sure that Donald Trump is beaten, which is exactly what was revealed in the unclassified documents.
China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
Wow, and they did. They actually literally didn't air Donald Trump's speech last night. So, yeah, they're doing China's bidding. The story last night was about China vacuuming up the voter information data of 220 million Americans to try to make sure that Donald Trump was defeated. And then the information about Chinese election interference was not shared with Donald Trump while he was the president by the letter agencies because they didn't want Donald Trump to win. And then last night, the story about China, the speech about Chinese election interference was shut down by the letter networks because China. It's kind of crazy. And it's weird because, the Democrats are now saying there's no foreign election interference, but that's exactly the opposite of what Joe Biden said back in 2020.
Any country, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. And it's been overwhelmingly clear this election, I won't even get into the last one, this election, that Russia has been involved, China has been involved to some degree, and now we learn that Iran is involved. They will pay a price if I'm elected.
It should be telling you everything you need to know that the Democrat Party is trying to C-block everything that would assure that the elections are free and fair. And the things that they are espousing will ensure that they are not. Mail-in voting, counting ballots after the election day, giving illegal Social Security cards. Now we know 278,000 at a minimum illegals have registered to vote in America. They say the number could be quite larger than that. So it's obvious. It's obvious to anyone who's paying attention. This is Rob Finnerty last night talking about why now we know why the SAVE Act is so important.
Steve, the left treats that like
Rob Finnerty from Newsmax, by the way.
Hyperbole, but I was glad he said it tonight because there were people that heard him say that tonight who probably haven't heard him make the case because they might watch some of the other networks. How important is the Save America Act, particularly the voter ID part of it?
It's absolutely vital. And you know who knows that more than anyone else? The Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, there you go.
Because they engage in the most comprehensive influence operations on the planet. One of the key targets of that influence is the island nation of Taiwan, where guess what? Every voter in Taiwan shows an ID. They go same day to vote. Yeah. They only use paper ballots. Yeah. All of them are accounted precinct by precinct. And by 9 p.m., you have results.
This is Steve Yates with the Heritage Foundation, by the way.
That are not contested. And that is how they have locked down against large-scale Chinese influence.
And that's the absolute opposite of what the Democrat Party and the liberal media in America want, which means they want the elections to be unfair.
Operations. If it has worked in the island of Taiwan, and we are now facing 200+ million voter files being compromised.
Which is true.
Maybe we should also have ID and paper ballots and count things from the grassroots up. And I think it easily cleans up the situation. election. But
honestly, the weight of the evidence, the weight of just the obviousness of all of this is so utterly ridiculous. It's like living in some sort of dystopian world. I mean, we've been going this for a decade right now. A dystopian world, wearing masks for 2 years because of a virus that they said was created by somebody eating bat soup in a wet market. Turns out it was bought and paid for by Anthony Fauci and released on America. And then of course they use the COVID to increase the size of the federal government by 40%, and then trillions of dollars has been stolen ever since. It really is just dystopian what we are living through. It's just nuts. And then you've got this insane transgender Ashley Webb last night on television. Does this just feel like some sort of... there are days you wonder if you're living in frickin' reality, right? You think, just wake me up. Wake me up, because I don't know what the hell is going on. It is so utterly ridiculous. Coming up, I want to talk about this White House teleprompter operator betting on Donald Trump's speeches, a little insider, like what Nancy Pelosi does on a much smaller scale. We would not be celebrating America 250 if it weren't for a strong foundation. The framers set that up. Hamilton built America's financial foundation. That's why we became the biggest engine of individual and economic freedom and wealth in the history of the universe. We abandoned the gold standard in 1971. Inflation has decreased the dollar's value ever since. But you know what? Gold has been a great investment for a very long time. Just 10 years ago, it was $1,200. It's over $4,000 now. Birch Gold has been helping Americans solidify their savings foundation for 15 years. They can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn how gold fits into your portfolio by texting my name, Rob, to Birch Gold at 989898. There you go, 989898. You'll get free information, no obligación, and they've got an A+ rating for the BBB. Countless 5-star reviews, including from this guy right here. I would have given him a 6-star, but it's not out there. I would have done it, and if it was available, I'd give him a 10-star because they're awesome. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. That's Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Crawford County.
Here's a rejoin.
Poor little Democrats. Are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. Would you guys shut up and let him work?
This is a pretty funny story. I'm not a betting man. I used to play a little blackjack at the casino, and whatever, just a little bit. I'd go in with $20, and if I could win $100, I'd leave, and if I lost the $20, I'd leave. I know, I'm small time, whatever. I just, Longtime White House teleprompter operator suspended amid shocking allegations of profiting off of President Trump's speeches. This guy has been the teleprompter operator since 2016. Federal regulators are reported in settlement talks with Gabriel Gabe Perez over shocking allegations he pocketed more than $100,000 on the prediction market Kalshi. He used his high-level security clearance and access to the presidential speed draft to wager on highly popular mentions market, okay? So it's like the drinking game. Hi, Bob, you take a drink if you're watching the new art. That's something else. Anyway. The prediction market allowed users to bet on whether specific words or phrases like rigged election, fake news, or geopolitical terms will be spoken aloud by the president during the public address. Perez loaded the speeches onto the teleprompter himself and knew exactly what the president was going to say before the rest of the world, kind of like Nancy Pelosi, knowing where government contracts are going to go and then buying lots of stock.
Obviously, I'm aware of the report. The president is too. I spoke with him about it.
Allegedly.
He believes it's deeply unfortunate and frankly a disgrace. And the individual that was cited in that report is complying with the CFTC, but has been put on paid administrative leave. So there will be a teleprompter operator tonight, of course, but it will not be the one, unfortunately, in that story.
Yeah, I got to tell I mean, shouldn't there be some limitations as to who can bet? Baseball managers can't bet on the MLB. Don't you suppose when it involves presidential speeches that the guy who runs the president's teleprompter shouldn't be able to bet? I mean, my God, that's fantastic. Wow, that guy, he's got cojones. Mark in Baltimore has been waiting to talk. Mark, welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's on your mind today?
Yes, good afternoon, Shalom.
Yes.
First of all, I'm also in the new studio.
Oh, thanks.
I hope it worked out well.
It's good.
I did listen to the entire speech on the local Baltimore affiliate last night.
Yes.
Very good and all that. My question is, that you already answered about the Voting Act. My question is, will the Justice Department and the U.S. Attorney General have the skills to go after those individuals, the moles in this country, and those overseas who work to try to overthrow President Trump in the 2020 elections illegally through all means? And how long do you think it's going to take the posse, both inside and outside the United States, to bring all these characters, how many of them, I guess it's 100, to justice? What do you think?
Well, these are the things that we voted Donald Trump into office for. Thus far, we've had nearly two very tumultuous years of Democrats fighting tooth and nail everything the Trump administration has tried to do while experiencing enormous successes, hundreds of gigantic successes. The big thing right now is the midterms. When we maintain and grow our advantages in both houses, then I am sure that the feces is going to hit the fan. We are already starting to see some of these things. We saw John Bolton, for instance, his indictment. Jack Smith is now getting a rectal exam, and hopefully he'll go to prison. But I believe that much more of this is going to come. But I do appreciate your phone call, Mark. Have a glorious weekend, brother. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Joe Biden's got a new book coming out here. We heard earlier this week him doing a little promo on the book, and he can barely talk. Let me see if I still got it. I'm not sure if I still have it. But he could barely talk. He's promoting this new book. Biden book, Joe Biden book. I think this is it. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. I still haven't been able to figure out the first two words or the first few words of this thing.
Since I left the presidency.
Okay, let's see. Since I left the presidency. I want to hear that one more time. One more time on it. Here it is.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me.
Okay, it says since I left the presidency on there.
Joe, what have you been doing?
I'm going to fast forward here because we didn't get to some later part of it here.
Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan.
Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan.
Strengthening NATO.
Strengthening NATO.
And supporting Ukraine.
Supporting Ukraine.
It's about why I chose to run for re-election.
You didn't choose.
And why I chose to step aside.
No, it's about your brain not working.
Most of all, it's about my faith in the promise of America.
Why'd you open the southern border to try to destroy it?
The promise we made to those who've gone before us is to honor their sacrifice.
You know, literally on the promo for the book, they've got captions on it because you can't understand what the hell he's saying. Do you suppose that he was able to write the book himself? I'm doubting it. Here's Jim Gossett to write about it on the Rob Carson Show.
They're saying that Joe Biden has written a new book.
He couldn't write a coffee table book.
But we know he's not capable, not that old senile crook. He can't even write his name, an auto pen was used because Sleepy Joe is always confused. Anonymously written, Joe Biden's book will be about the worst president in U.S. history. Real author will be unknown, you know it won't be Joe, because his brain is moving very slow. Not one single word written by Joe. They're ghost writing Biden's book.
Yeah, it was auto-penned. The entire thing was auto-penned. I think that's what happened anyway. Yeah, sure. He wrote a book. I don't know if he could read one, actually. We're going to take a break and come back. Mary Walter Radio. Just Google it on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted again, he says he felt better again. You know something's working when you run out of it. I started taking Relief Factor 6 months ago. I ride 30 miles on a Saturday morning on my mountain bike and lift weights every other day, and I feel great. People like Jim make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor help you tackle your daily aches and pains. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. They will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story with us too. 800-4RELIEF or relieffactor.com.
there's something about Mary that they don't know. Mary, there's just something about Mary.
That is the number one subject of conversation with the people who live in the cul-de-sac with Mary Walter every single week. It's like, hi, there's something about Mary. I know, but maybe she'll move eventually. Mary Walter, how are you on this glorious Friday?
Just living the dream and one day closer to retirement. How are you?
Oh, I swear to God, this week I was like, I think I might be ready. But I mean, not financially ready, but ready emotionally. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but I saw, you moved. You got a lot of stuff going on. You were at a big party that, you posted pictures of, but didn't tell us what the party was.
Yes.
And I asked, and you did not respond.
Well, yes, I did. I did too. I went over to the United States Capitol, got a tour with Mike Johnson and a bunch of other VIPs and whatnot. I put that all over the place. And you obviously did not listen to the radio program because I've been talking about it.
Yeah, Rob, no offense, but like when I know I'm going to be on with you on Fridays, I got to dose my Carson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's like too much of a good thing sometimes, and then it's not good.
It's kind of like Chris. I'm trying to remember the comedian. There are a lot of people you get just enough of. You're like, I can't take any more. You get your year's worth of them. So I can understand that completely. My wife certainly had that happen. His
like I said, I can see both sides of that whole weight thing.
Now you sent me something funny. This is from the Trump White House. Abigail Jackson talking about. Tell me about this video clip you sent me, and then I'll play it.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's about showing an ID at Olive Garden.
Citizenship. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was on Newsmax. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So she was reporting outside the White House. So I was a little confused.
No problem.
So, yeah. So, because I sent you some stuff, and
Yes.
I have a very busy day today. So, and I looked at that, and I saw that, and it's totally like a non sequitur.
I know.
Right? But so she was talking, she was reporting for Newsmax, and she said something about, I guess they were talking about the SAVE Act because it's only a snippet.
Yes.
And she says Olive Garden posted that if you're going to be part of like their pasta lovers club,
yes,
in order to prevent, I'm assuming, people from giving their pasta pass
yes.
to someone else
yes.
and double dipping, you have to show ID, right? And so they posted that you have to show ID but not to vote.
All right, here's
right? You have to post for the pasta lovers but just not to vote.
Here is the audio.
Citizenship, ending mass mail-in balloting. And Democrats have already said the quiet part out loud. They've said that if the Save America Act passes, they're not going to win another election. Why would that be? Why would securing our elections prevent Democrats from winning? And, I saw a tweet yesterday from Olive Garden, of all places, that in order to take advantage of their never-ending pasta pass, you have to show voter ID. And I thought, that's weird. Olive Garden takes pasta pass security more seriously than Democrats.
Now, this just in, Mary. The Chinese Communist Party has access to all of the people who have the never-ending pasta pass at Olive Garden. We just found out that this morning. You know what? This is why we have so many people in motorized wheelchairs at the grocery store.
You know what? It's unbelievable. And here in the People's Socialist Republic of New Jersey, there's a very large grocery chain, and they in certain counties. And so where I live, everything's all about that. And we have a super shop right here. There's the world class and super.
I
we
know.
have the world class. Yeah. And so you can be part. You can sign up for and get points and stuff like that. You get enough points, you get a free turkey, a Christmas, whatever, a ham, whatever. And then they have special deals. You just have to put the digital coupons on your pass, right?
Yes.
And anybody can have one. You just have to give them a phone number.
Yes.
And I think an address. Well, the Democrats in New Jersey say that's not fair because it's different prices for different customers, so they want to take it away. And ShopRite's like, well, anybody can sign up. Like, yes, but then you're collecting their data. I'm like, they have my old house phone from 2 moves ago.
What the what?
All you have to do is remember that house phone. All I have to do is remember that phone number to put into the little keypad. So they have my old house number that somebody else has now. But China, as you said, in the meantime, has all my information, including my social security number and everything else.
Yeah.
And the state of New Jersey, the morons, excuse me, she's a helicopter pilot, but our helicopter pilot, this is what they're going to go after. They're going to say out nobody gets any discounts. So I guess if you don't get the circular, you can't cut the coupon out either. Like
the
it's
circular.
the dumbest thing ever.
The circular. Why'd they call it a circular? I don't even.
Because it circulates once a week.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. You ever use that, what the hell is it, those value coupons that come in the mail, that envelope, and it's always for, like, garage door openers and guttering and stuff? And a Chinese restaurant you never heard of?
There's no. I always go through them because there's an Italian market near where I get my haircut that has coupons in there.
Yes.
And so if I'm heading up that way, I'll use that.
Wow.
And then the place down the street from us that has 200 different kind of omelets and 35 different kind of pancakes, they will often have coupons in there for discounts as well. So
wow.
Yeah, I do
I'm so glad that we're talking about the really important news of the day today. My monitor just went off. I've got to straighten out here. Let's talk about this.
Listen, I don't have to do this with you every Friday. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying my monitor it wasn't about you. It was about my monitor just suddenly going off here in the studio. Let's talk about these women in Spain trying to wear bikinis.
Well, they're burkinis.
Burkinis.
The burkas, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, burkinis. And so Spain, this one place in Spain has a rule that you can't go swimming in the pool there in non-pool clothing, right? Yes. So you have to wear traditional bathing suits. You can't go in your jeans. You can't go in pants. And so they said that these were non-traditional bathing clothes. And Portugal's on the verge of banning the burqa totally because they say it is not voluntary. It is oppression of women.
Yes.
And so you can't we're not going to have that. You want to wear it in the house, knock yourself out. But that's Portugal. This is Spain. So this is spreading in that area where there is zero tolerance. On the other hand, I got to tell you, as any woman will attest to, the burkini, there's a lot of positives to it. All right?
Of course.
Right? There's a lot of... First of all, for those of us who are German and Irish descent and, the sun is not our friend, I already wear a rash guard when I go in the sun just because I don't want to get the sun on my body. I already wear a rash guard.
Yes.
And the new ones that Land's End makes now has a thumb hole in it and has a little thing that flaps down over your hands, which is fantastic. Yeah. Right? So, I'm one step away from just donning a bunch of leggings and heading out that way.
Well, that's what those old-timey swimsuits around the 1900 in the United States of America, they were like that. And then somehow feminism, one of the greatest things in the world that feminism did for men was we got to see women in their underwear at the beach. You could get a woman wearing a G-string at the beach, yet if you're at Victoria's Secret and you accidentally saw her come out of the dressing room in her underwear, she'd be trying to cover up, but she'll wear her underwear at the beach. It's one of the greatest, the most foolish things that ever happened. Listen, we're going to take a break and come back. More with Mary Walter on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show. It is the Rob Carson Show. It is Friday. One of our unusual suspects, Mary Walter Radio. Just Google Mary Walter Radio. She's everywhere. I'm intrigued. I want to come up and visit you and go to that place that has 200 different kinds of waffles or omelets. What the heck is that all about?
It's Amy's Waffle House. I mean, it's Amy's Omelet House.
Oh, my God. I've got to go. Do you have a favorite?
No, I usually get the same thing. It's just like they have all different kinds of pork roll and this and that. I did the pork roll one once, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I stick with, they make really good potato pancakes too. I stick with the omelet with feta and Kalamata olives and tomatoes.
Little Greek omelet. That's kind of nice.
Little Greek thing going on there. Yeah. I have a question though, Rob.
Please,
and
yes.
not to change the subject. I have a question
Please.
since we kind of blew past the whole bathing suit thing.
Yes.
You want to come up here? You want to go there? You wear a Speedo to the beach, don't you?
No, I do not. I don't. I wear knee-length shorts and some sort of a shirt, and occasionally get into the water, and really can only sit on a lawn chair about a half an hour and then go back to the condo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. You are not a relax under an umbrella, read a book kind of guy. You're like I have to give you Benadryl before we went to the beach.
Yes. I don't like to sit still that long. I know that's going to come as a big surprise to you.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you're not coming up here. All right.
No. Hey, I got a couple of things I want to cover with you. A study finds that cat interaction isn't soothing for their owners. If you think you have a pet, and it relieves your stress, dogs it seems so, cats not so much. I would tend to agree that cat owners are very different from dog owners. I mean, there are those who have cats and dogs, but cat owners, would you say that there are distinctive traits associated with cat ownership and dog ownership? And would you say that cat owners are more stressed out or less stressed out than dog owners?
Well, I don't know about the stress level because I grew up with dogs as a kid.
Yeah.
And then last year we had 3 cats, and unfortunately lost 2 of them last year unexpectedly. Well, one was expected. She was 18, but the other one was the baby. She was very unexpected. So we have 1 now. And I will say that, we talk all the time. I love dogs and I love cats. Cats are so much easier to take care of than dogs.
Yeah, you can leave them.
If you're going away for a weekend, you can just leave food in the automatic feeder. The cat will handle it.
I know.
And the cat goes to the bathroom on their own. I don't walk it or anything. And like when we have a big storm, because we always say we want a dog. So my husband never had a dog. It's like, I want a dog, We'll be like in a big storm here, like Hurricane Sandy or something. I'm like, if we had a dog, somebody would have to walk it in this. And my husband's like, who are you kidding? I would have to walk it in this. I'm like, well, yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying someone would have to walk the dog. So it's much more of a responsibility with the dog. As far as being calming, our cats, well, the youngest one that we lost last year, she would get in bed under the covers and curl up in my arm and put her head on my shoulder and fall asleep. I mean, she was like a little real stuffed animal. So, I think they can be very soothing. I think it depends on your relationship with a cat. Cats have this stereotype of being aloof and not friendly. We walk through the door, all 3 cats will come running downstairs
that's
they
nice.
get a treat. So,
That's nice. Go back to the seed of this conversation. Your husband has never had a dog?
No, his sister had a cat who was an evil cat. Because when I was a kid, I used to go over and take care of their cat when they weren't there, and that cat would bite me and scratch me and everything else. I hated that damn thing.
I know.
But no, they never had a dog. They never did.
Maybe it's puppy time for Christmas. Oh.
No, because the cat we have now, I'm not going to torture him with that. That's not happening. He's very happy being an only child right now, so no.
Terrible situation. Firefighters had to cut apart a porta potty after a man somehow became trapped underneath the toilet. This in Kansas City. Firefighters had to they had to bring a porta potty, one of those jaws of life, to free a man who somehow managed to get stuck underneath in the toilet seat. Listen to this. They heard knocking and screaming. When they arrived, the man was trapped beneath the seat with his upper body wedged under the bowl and his lower half submerged in the waste tank. Dear God, could you imagine, A, a worse job as a rescuer, and B, a worse situation to be in, and C, how in the hell did that happen?
Okay, so I know how it happened because I watched this video, and then there was a follow-up video.
Yeah?
So I watched the video, And so apparently, first of all, he was not helpful with the rescue whatsoever.
Okay.
He just kept screaming, "I can't get out!" And they're like, "Stick your head out the hole, put your left arm through, and push yourself out," because they didn't want to come in any further and cut anymore because there was literally waste everywhere. Right? And any human being will want to get the hell out of there ASAP. You know what happened?
What?
He claims he dropped a Mountain Dew bottle in there the day before and went back to go get it.
His Mountain Dew bottle, let it go. They've got more at the 7-Eleven.
So something tells me, if I had to guess,
I'll bet it. I know what it is.
Mountain Dew bottle. Dude was in there probably doing like cocaine or crack or shooting up or something, and dropped it in, and he went to go get it. That's what I think.
Or he's one of those perverts that sit down in there waiting for women to come in there. That could be there. That too. I don't know.
Graham Plattner. It was not Graham Plattner. We know that.
Did you watch that Maine debate? Did you see this? This Ashley.
Wait. Go back
What?
to that guy real quick.
Yes.
There's a video. He was naked, and they were hosing him off outside
Oh, dear God in heaven.
with the fire hose. They were
Dear God
spraying
in
him to wash him down.
Oh, dear God in heaven.
Anyway, so go ahead.
Thank God for our first responders. Thank God for our first responders. Ashley Webb, did you see this? Looks like Meatloaf's trans sister.
These men who quote unquote transition, they start to cosplay women. They all seem to do it when they're losing their hair. So they have like this really thin, horrific hair.
Yes.
But he's a pretty princess. Horrific looking. He swears he gets his period. I'm like, well, at your age, then you need to go to a doctor because unless there's a star in the east, there is no way you're getting your period right now. Okay, that's number one. There's just, I say this not to be mean,
please,
but the left, the Democrats Party, the people who are rising to the top are back crap crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they're constantly being arrested for stuff.
Yeah.
Constantly breaking the law, constantly being arrested, and the media just shoves it under the rug. And there was that chick out in, what was it, Michigan, who was giving that speech. She's really awkward. Remember, she's running against.
She sounded like Chris Farley as Matt Foley.
Yes. Or I close my eyes. If you close your eyes, she has sounded, because she has the accent.
Yeah.
She sounded like, remember the character Pat?
Oh, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. Little bit of Margie from Fargo too, by the way.
Yes, it was terrible. But notice they don't say anything of value.
I know.
We're going to get in there and we're going to fight. And I'm like, well, what do you stand for, Pat? We're going to fight because we're going to fight for you in Michigan. I'm like,
Michigan? Mary, that was a great impression, by the way. We're going to wrap things up on that. That was really good. You nailed that completely. Before we go...
maybe I have a future.
Yes, tell everybody where they can find your glorious work.
Just look for Mary Walter Radio everywhere you buy fine albums.
All right. Have a glorious weekend, Mary. We'll talk soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hi, kids. How are you? I killed a troll. Trump the cuck. Bye, you ass. I love it when these trolls step in. What's the point in joining a conversation just to be a douche? I don't understand it. Joseph Hicks, hello. Ain't no such thing as a cat owner. The cat owns you. Yeah, that's true. We used to have farm cats. Farm cats were pretty cool. We just put out a big pan of Friskies and let them go eat birds. Don't insult Meatloaf. I know. But he did kind of look like lazy eye trans Meatloaf. Who's watching over on Facebook? Chris Schwab, Robert Lawson, Sam Kim Potter, all of you. J.C. Cruz. J.C. Cruz, everybody. J.C. Cruz. It's a great name. Mandy Johnson. Hi, Mandy Johnson. Are you real? I don't think you're real, Mandy Johnson. I think you're a fake profile, Mandy Johnson. I think you're a fake profile. In fact, I know you are. But thanks for chiming in, Mandy Johnson, even though you're not real. Scott Davies, a lot of outhouse Polish jokes from you. Now, let's not do those. Those were your dad's jokes in the 1970s. Rob's engineer taking a smoke break. Yeah, just go outside and breathe. Just go outside and breathe right now. I don't know. We get secondhand smoke up here from the fires. All right, I got to figure out what I'm talking about here. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Stimulating talk, only on Talk Radio 680, WCBM, and 99.9 FM in Harford County.
Wait a minute, 2.5 here.
It is a Rob Carson show. Little Metallica for you. Enter Sandman. Never gets old. Ah! Ah! Come on. Come on. I'm going to let it kick in for you. How's that sound? Because I need me some Metallica today. Oh, it's not going to kick in. Da-da-da-da-da. Have you ever heard the... Oh, hold on. Here it comes. Hold on. Turn on, Brian. There it is. Say a prayer. Oh, I just love that song. My God, I just love it. Coming up next hour, we've got Christian Toto. We've got a former Marine and congressional candidate has been arrested, faces a whole lot of prison time for threatening Donald Trump, calling him the Antichrist. That's just nuts. We got some news on James Tallarico. We've got, a lot of stuff on the DSA. Tony Kinnett said earlier about the DSA that we need to start making arrests because you cannot say you're going to overthrow the government, and let alone become a member of the Democrat Party. You cannot overthrow the government. So something's going to have to be done about this communist movement in America. It is not, you cannot say you are going to overthrow the government, which is what they're planning on doing with getting rid of the Senate, getting rid of how you elect the president, taking over industry. You cannot do that. It's not legal. We are a constitutional representative republic, and so you have to abide by the Constitution. You have to swear by the Constitution. The only way you could usher in such revolutionary change is to perform an act of war, to create a war against the United States of America. So that's what's got to happen. We got a lot of news on that coming up. Also, a little bit going on with Iran. Donald Trump has just taken the gloves off altogether and doing exactly what I've been talking about, what he's been needing to do, and it appears to be working quite well. So all of that is coming up in the final hour of the Rob Carson Show on this Friday, broadcasting from the Newsmax studios in the heart of Washington, D.C., wrapping up our first week here. Don't go anywhere.
don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit ReliefFactor.com today.
Hold it now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it's finally Friday. Hello. Sorry, I got a sun chip stuck in my craw, as it were. Welcome to the show, final hour of the show. A lot of stuff going on here in Washington, D.C. I guess I really haven't noticed the wildfire smoke that's plaguing the entire country. I didn't really notice it much this morning. What I missed? I drove in my Bronco. I have these little wooden air fresheners that I've ordered online, and they're called Drift. And they're kind of cool, and so they come in individual packets, and there's got a mount that you can put on your visor, and it sticks with a magnet. And they got all sorts of cool. The scent that I'm using now is called John Wick. It's called John Wick, from the movies of John Wick. Anyway. And then I ordered some for I got one for the fall. I've got the pumpkin spice. I know it's pretty of me. And then I got one for the holidays with the smell of Christmas and cinnamon and all that crap. I live by myself. Okay, I live by myself, and this is what I got. This is my life, okay? This week I spent the entire week in this room building a studio. People can't believe. They don't even know what the hell to think of this guy. Comes in, takes an empty room with some black foam on one wall, and then the other two walls bare. Comes in, puts up soundproof acoustic panels all the way around. Just hung up a back the blue American flag. I've got my last backstage pass from Elvis's last concert here. I've got a drawing, a painting that one of my listeners made of Rush Limbaugh, Rush Revere, and then I've got another American flag made out of wood that I bought at a yard sale. And they're all going like, "Who the hell are you? Who are you?" And then I bring in food, and it's just bizarre. So that's my life. I don't have a lot of things to spend my money on other than my wife every month gets a couple of checks. But I bought these Drift air fresheners, and that's what I have in my truck. So maybe that's why a very circuitous way to talk about the wildfires. Drift. They're called Drift. They're kind of cool. They're a wooden disc. They're like made out of cedar, and I just put one. It's teak. It's called teak is the scent now, and I don't know. You check them out if you want to. It's not a sponsor or anything. I like them, and maybe that's why I didn't smell the wildfire smoke that's happening there and all of that. Ruben Gallego had sexual relations with two House staffers, according to the Washington Post. Holy hell, it's the Washington Post. Arizona's Democrat Senator Ruben Gallego, potential 2028 presidential candidate, will never be the president, dear God, engaged in sexual relationships with at least two House staffers, and his very flirtatious habits with others may come back to haunt him, the Post has learned. The 46-year-old lawmaker admitted to the two relationships, both with aides to Texas Democrats, to one source, while a second person said they had recently learned of the romantic engagement. A third source confirmed that one of the dalliances, they call them dalliances, both of which are said to have been consensual and occurred during Gallego's decade representing Phoenix in the House. A pattern of mistakes and missteps and judgment calls, one source says, noting the imbalanced power dynamics of an elected official dating staffers, one of the women in her 20s, much younger than Gallego at the time. He's a frickin' creep. What's it with Democrat men? Dipwad Plattner, he was on a Kick profile. Kick, K-I-K, is a place where pedophiles go to pick up young girls. Honestly, what the hell's the deal here? Apparently, he says that I'm not one to engage in gossip. This kind of sounds like shades of what happened with Plattner. They kind of start finding stuff, and then he keep denying. Anyway, the Post reported April 18th that Representative Jimmy Gomez, California, a close friend of Gallego, and Swallowswell, and the third member of their so-called cool kids clique, I hope that's not spelled with K's, because that would be KKK, was spotted kissing a Swalwell aide at a D.C. house party in the summer of 2023. Can we grow up and be men, for God's sake? Can we just grow up and be men? It really is just utterly, utterly ridiculous. I was also reading a piece the other day about a drink culture on Capitol Hill. I'm not a drinker anymore. But it says here that, and now that I'm in the heart of the swamp, and I'm right here on 14th Street, about a stone's throw from the Capitol, if you could throw a stone a mile and a half. The drinking culture on Capitol is much worse than you think. Capitol Hill staffers and reporters, the prescription for a long and successful career often starts with off-hour drinks. For women, going to the bars brings the potential of being groped, occasionally by a prominent congressman. One female staffer who talked to this person who wrote this article relayed this happened to her at a bar in D.C. She declined to name the member on record for fear of reprisal. This is classic sexual harassment. This is one of the reasons why we have to watch those stupid videos and do a week-long seminar and ask a bunch of questions. Do you have to do that? I had to do a sexual harassment training video in my home, and I work by myself. So unless I'm trying to play grab ass with myself, it was kind of silly. But I had to do it. Then you got to answer. Joe and Mary are working in the same office, and it shows Joe and Mary, two really bad actors. Got a little gig, making a couple $100. They're in the copy room, and Mary's in there, and she's bending over, and she's picking up, the 8x12 or 8x11 copy paper and loading it into the copying machine. And old Larry goes, "Hey, I'd like to fill your hopper with paper." And she goes, "Oh, I don't think that's appropriate." Beep, stop. Joe said, or Larry, or whatever the hell his name is, said something inappropriate to Mary, somehow that could be thought of as sexual connotations. Don't do this. And then you go back to Joe and Mary, and they redo it again, and it's Mary there in the copy machine, and Joe there, and Mary's bending over, and she's loading the 8x11 paper into the hopper in the copy machine, and old Joe just walks up there and goes, "My, what a productive week we are having at work, Mary. Would you agree?" And Mary, of course, stands up and says, Hey, is that a sheath of paper in your pants, or are you just glad to see me?" Beep, stop again. Hold on a second. We didn't expect this in the video, but Mary said something inappropriate to Joe. What the hell are we going to do here? And then finally to go back and then they, you have to take a quiz. Was it appropriate for Mary to say, "It looks like you have a package of paper in your pants"? Or was it appropriate for Joe to want to fill her hopper with paper? And then you got to go yes or no. And if you miss it, then you got to go back and watch the damn video again. And then you got to answer the questions right. You can't just go back and they don't just tell you, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't say that." You've got to watch the damn video again. It's ridiculous. That's what's going on with bar culture in Washington, D.C. Oh, what a day I'm having. What a day. It's been a hell of a week. By the way, real quick, I want to mention my TV show this weekend. We did the first taping of Rob Carson's What in the World? And I think you're going to enjoy the show this weekend. Donald Trump says it makes me the funniest man on television. 3 o'clock on Saturday and 8:30 Sunday night. Download the Newsmax app or go to newsmaxtv.com for listings, will you? I've been talking to you forever about Birch Gold. I've got my money in Birch Gold, and I'm planning on buying more gold here, actually. We sold the house in the Kansas side of Kansas City. And so I've taken some of that money. I paid off my Bronco. He's now officially mine. And, boy, that sounded kind of like I was having an inappropriate relationship with my truck. But anyway, he's completely mine. And so I got a little bit extra, a little bit of walk-around money. I buy fancy air fresheners with it, and I might buy some more gold with it because I took my 401k from selling cars, and I went to Birch Gold and said, "Let it ride, baby. Let's buy some gold." So I got that with Birch Gold. If you are thinking about solidifying your savings in gold, I would suggest you text Birch Gold. That's the company that I choose. There are a lot of other shows that talk about whatever gold company and whatever gold company, fly-by-night gold company or whatever. Birch Gold is a company that I trust because they have my money. They have my money. If you called Birch Gold and said, hey, are you managing Rob Carson's gold portfolio? They'll go, yeah, but that's all I can tell you, and then you trust me. Just trust me on it. Birch Gold has been helping Americans solidify their savings for 15 years. They can help you convert that existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn to see how it fits in your portfolio. With an A-plus rating from the BBB, countless 5-star reviews, let Birch Gold build your foundation in gold. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. Build a better foundation with Birch Gold. We're going to take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How. Yeah, we are kicking butt and taking names, and all those names are Mohammed, generally in Iran. Donald Trump has decided to take the gloves off, take back Hormuz, and basically start eliminating, doing the bridges, doing the power plants and all that, because they cannot be reasoned with, they cannot be trusted whatsoever, these radical Islamists. And here is what Jack Keane says about that.
They are going to lose complete control of the Straits of Hormuz, and we're going to reduce their capability to interfere with to a bare minimum. That is the path we are on, and based on your read of the situation, I think it's accurate, Jesse. The president will likely expand beyond that, and because he's at a point where he knows in his own mind you cannot make a deal with these guys. They lie, and he's fed up with it.
Yeah, there you go. And this is kind of what and listen, I'm not a foreign policy expert, dear Lord in heaven. But this is what I said that would have to happen. I said it like months ago, because you can't leave a single seed of this to grow. So there you go. There you go. While the Democrat Party struggles with what a man is, and they essentially demasculated America. This is why there are no real men in the Democrat Party. They have to go out and find a cliche of what they consider to be a real man. Graham Platter is a reasonable facsimile of that. But they can't get a good and decent masculine man in the Democrat Party because nobody wants to be a part of these insane people. Let me give you an example. This week on Capitol Hill, they were questioning a liberal academic from UC San Francisco and others about transgenderism and the difference between men and women. Okay, and this is what the Democrat Party believes right here.
Who are pregnant people compared to pregnant women? Just curious.
So that is a part of a curriculum to help our students who are facing a wide diversity of patients. Of course, the vast majority of pregnancies are in women, and I have absolutely no problem with using the word pregnant women.
All of pregnancies are with women.
Use it myself.
Has a non-biological woman ever had a baby?
A transgender person can.
That's not a biological woman.
No, it's
Has
not.
a non-biological woman ever had a baby?
I would
No,
reiterate,
it's ridiculous.
We take care of transgender
Okay,
patients.
Doc, can someone have a uterus and not be a woman? Just say yes or no. Can they?
Again, I would need
That's what your medical school is promoting.
The gentlelady's
Mr. Chairman, it's clear these medical schools are hiding DEI curriculum under the guise of medical access.
Yeah, it's. I hope someday that we wake up from this mania and the people who fell for it are just freaking shamed into hiding. Honestly, just shamed in the, like, you idiot, you bought into that nonsense. And anybody in academia who suddenly in the last 6 years has decided that men can have babies and boys can become girls and all of this, you should be banished to the intellectual island of Elba, because you have made such a bloody fool of yourself. Just an absolute fool of yourself. Just ridiculous. Here's a real man. This is Pete Hegseth. You hear about this? They want to have military members tested for testosterone levels. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm down with it. I'm down with it because, I'm a man of a certain age. And, I had my testosterone checked. It's a little bit low. The Bronco helps, and listening to Metallica and whatnot helps. But the testosterone helps. Here is Pete Hegseth saying that he is down with testing troops for testosterone so they're battle ready.
And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. because it's well established.
There are ways you could test for a testosterone deficiency. You can do a blood test, or you just analyze their behavior. If they go into Starbucks and all of a sudden a man orders a drink with more than 8 syllables, chances are he's testosterone deficient.
Science that as we age, testosterone levels often naturally.
If he watches HGTV when his wife's not around, that's a sign of testosterone deficiency.
Drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters age 30 and older.
If he's really into any of the real wives of reality TV shows or the Kardashians, no, actually, that's just he's gay.
Are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test.
Yes.
Those under 30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well.
Sure, why not?
If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement.
This is a far cry from when Joe Biden was the president and they had transgendered soldiers. And we came up with this. I want to play this classic from Jim Gossett.
Fighting soldiers are depressed. Their morale is far from best. If you're sad, change your sex, they say.
Yeah, you can do it.
Wear a dress and a pink beret. The Pentagon is so woke. General Milley,
I just did that whistling for the heck of it.
He's a joke.
Oh my God, remember that guy?
Whoever thought you'd see the day when fighting men could be trans or gay.
Stop it!
We must turn this mess around.
I'll invade your territory.
While sane people can still be found.
Do you have defensive missiles?
Fire your missile.
Oh, hello.
Is what they like to say. Cause the DOD has gone really gay.
Oh, it was really gay for a while.
Trained to fight on foreign lands.
Slap fight.
Trained in combat, hand to hand.
Or somewhere else.
Uniforms match their lipstick shade.
Oh, snap!
Stiletto heels and a pink beret.
That is Jim Gossett, by the way. Jim Gossett. Talking about the pink beret. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that when we had all these transgendered individuals in the military. Do you remember there was a long time ago that remember MASH? There was a TV show called MASH, Gen Z. There was a TV show called MASH. And there was this guy, he was trying to get out of the Army, Corporal Klinger, and the only way he could get out is to get a Section 8, which shows you're crazy. And the way he did it was he dressed up in women's clothing. And then all this happened. So it used to be a way you'd get out of military service, pretend you're crazy, and it was if you were wearing a dress as a man and acting like a woman. And he didn't even act like a woman. He just wore women's clothing. He was still Corporal Klinger. He was pretty masculine. He wasn't trying to walk around and whatever. He was still kind of a masculine guy. He was just wearing a dress. It's Friday. Coming up, there is a new biopic coming out about Sly Stallone, and it looks friggin' ridiculous. I Am Rocky. Also, the Odyssey is open now, and we'll talk to Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto on the other side of the break about that. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. GhostBed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? GhostBed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
No one has seen him for ages. It has been 6 months or longer. His country just keeps getting weaker, while America gets stronger. Khomeini, what happened to you, Khomeini? Could it be a through? Well, just maybe you are no longer around.
A lot of people are saying that he's badly disfigured. Other people are saying he's dead.
They are saying you were injured, but that somehow you're still breathing. When you see Iran's destruction, bet that it has you seething. Khomeini, future is dim. Khomeini, missing a limb. Khomeini, will we ever see you again?
Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most: that it works and that you can trust it. Jim ran out of Relief Factor twice. Both times his ache, stiffness, and pain came back. Once he restarted again, he says he felt better again. You know something's working when you run out of it. I started taking Relief Factor 6 months ago. I ride 30 miles on a Saturday morning on my mountain bike and lift weights every other day, and I feel great. People like Jim make it easy to find out if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor help you tackle your daily aches and pains. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. They will do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be sharing your story with us too. 800-4RELIEF or ReliefFactor.com.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
Odysseus,
Telemachus, Penelope,
Antinous, Odysseus,
Athena, Telemachus, Calypso, Penelope,
Menelaus,
and Helen of Troy.
Odyssey.
After the Iliad,
Hidden no horse.
won the war. Yeah, I'm serious.
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Itching for Ithaca.
Get past the Peloponnesian Peninsula.
Odyssey.
Mediterranean.
Psych out of Cyclops.
And crater his cranium. Circe is
cursing the
men into bacon.
Okay, that's a insufferable promo for the movie The Odyssey that is out in theaters right now. And here to talk about this and other stuff is one of my faves from HollywoodandToto.com, the one and only Christian Toto. Christian Toto, how are you on this Friday?
I'm not going to rap. That's my promise, my vow.
Please don't.
Not like those people.
They forgot Idius. There's a Idius, I think, is a member of the cast. So, a lot of the people have been talking about Elliot Page becoming a dude. I don't even care. I don't even care. I mean, he's not a dude. He's a girl. He's little and, slight and all of that stuff. And I don't really care. And I don't know if I'll go see the movie. It sounds a little woke. I'm not into woke. But have you seen the movie, and is it good? And what is the buzz about it, and what have you heard about it?
I have seen the movie. It's making a lot of money already, so I think the box office is going to have its back. And it's like a lot of Christopher Nolan films. It's great at times. It's stunning. It's different.
Yeah.
It's unusual. And it's also maddening. There are some mistakes in there and some issues that I just found really stubborn and unnecessary. And one of them is that particular casting choice. Now, Elliot Page,
I know.
and also, the two casting issues, they're barely in the film. It's not a big deal. You can watch the film, enjoy the film. You could kind of push that aside. But when you name Elliot Page's character as the greatest warrior, as is done in one part of the film, it's distracting. It's distracting. I don't mean ill will to anyone, but it's distracting. Elliot Page is 5'1". I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's kind of like casting Don Knotts as Elliot Ness.
Yeah,
Barney Fife as Elliot Ness.
I would actually watch that movie.
I swear, Mr. Bean as Superman.
Nolan is a very talented filmmaker. He does things that no one else can.
Yeah.
And you want to see it for that reason. It's all in IMAX. It's really something to behold. And the flaws will drive you crazy, for sure. There's
Really?
no doubt about it. But, yeah.
Well, tell me, give me an example.
It gets a little spoilery, but there's a strategy late in the film by one of the heroic characters to get closer to his enemy. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's a very silly situation, and it's stretched out. And then there's a big battle.
Did they get behind a bush and they hide behind a bush, and then when the Roman soldiers look the other way, they move the bush a little bit? Is it that one?
Not that bad, but it does bring some things to mind. And there's a battle late in the movie which is terrific, and Nolan knows how to stage these things. But by golly, it goes on forever to an absurd level. I'm thinking, is this a John Wick movie or is this The Odyssey? Now, I love John Wick movies, but they are what they are.
Yeah.
They're not realistic. They're not sort of epic in scope. And so you don't want to kind of go in that direction. So just little things like that will drive you nuts.
Yeah.
But again, it's the grandeur. It's the fact that this is a very unique and talented director.
Sure.
There's no one like him. He really does. Yeah. He just swings for the fences every time.
It was a little distractive trying to make Elliot Page into a powerful warrior. They had to use a pool flotation noodle as a sword.
Let the jokes come in.
Thank you.
And again, when you watch the movie, it's 3 hours long, which is fair, but this is practically 3 hours long.
Oh, no.
If there's a thing like that, you grumble, you squirm in your seat, but you watch the rest of the movie. I don't want to slam a great filmmaker like Nolan just for that. But
I got you.
It's a distraction.
So the GLAAD, G-L-A-A-D, what's it about gay groups? You're either gay, happy, or you're just glad. I mean, honestly, is there another mood that gay people, I got to tell you, there are some other moods that gay people can be in, like, finicky, weird, whatever, anyway. But they've released their annual report on listen to this, hold on, this is the headline. Their annual report on, are you ready? LGBTQIAAPS2+ characters.
Take a breath.
I don't even know. PS2, isn't that a gaming system? But anyway, it's very in there. As woke continues to become a death knell for popular movies and TV, LGBTQ characters are hardest hit. GLAAD shows in its 14th annual report, the Hollywood Reporter writes, that gay representation has declined once again in Hollywood for the third year. Out of 225 projects during the year, 46 or 20% featured LGBTQIA plus characters. This percentage is a major decline over 2024 when 23.6% of films had queer characters. I thought gay people made up less than 10% of the population.
I thought so too. You know, the bottom line here is that there are a lot of sort of forced diversity measures that have been taken over the last decade, and they're going away. And people are realizing that this forced diversity often leads to shoddy storytelling. I don't know why it is. I mean, it shouldn't on paper. The stories are the stories, but it is often the case. And listen, there are Heated Rivalry is one of the biggest shows on HBO Max. It's about a couple of gay hockey players. It's very successful. No one wants these stories to go away. No one wants gay storytellers to not do what they want to do and share their vision. That's perfectly fine, but not forcefully, not where we have to kind of do a diversity checkbox. And by the way, how many conservative heroic characters do you see on screen?
None.
Large or small?
None.
Maybe none, maybe less than zero. Where's that diversity checkbox? I missed it last time I looked.
Wasn't that gay hockey show originally called Ice Cube Mountain? Wasn't that? Wasn't pretty sure. I think it was called Ice Cube Mountain. It was. Is it cold in here? Well, you'd better get over here. Oh, my wife did. So anyway, check this out. I'm in a mood this week, by the way, because I have been in this. We moved to Washington, D.C., right? Moved the studio to Washington, D.C. I don't know if you knew about this. You ought to check the social media. And in the last week, I have been taking what was essentially a broom closet and made it into a really cool studio. Because I watch a lot of HGTV. I have a PhD in HGTV. And so it's just like a really cool studio, but I am just so bloody exhausted. I'm like, hit me upside the head. Ice Cube Mountain. All right, so check this out. The 1939 masterpiece Gone with the Wind on Netflix. They are hitting you with a disclaimer at the beginning. Did you hear about this thing? They are.
So the funny thing is, it turns out that it's not even on Netflix, but they've got a page on Netflix for it. Maybe they're going to get it soon. Maybe they've had it in the past. But when you go to that page, the description of the movie is, I mean, I am paraphrasing, but only slightly racist. Go investigate Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yes.
You have to go find it on social media. I'm being a little silly, but not that silly. It's actually pretty accurate.
So they're saying the movie is racist, and you should go get extorted by a corrupt organization that only enriches the people at the top of its echelons of power and does nothing for the people who are desperate. In other words,
bingo.
Unbelievable. You know, I could see if it were Birth of a Nation, for God's sake. Uh-huh. But this is a period piece in a different time, and there were black heroes in this. In fact, didn't Hattie McDaniel win a danged Oscar for this thing?
Yep, first Oscar ever by a black performer, I believe, first or second.
It is, I mean, honestly, no shame whatsoever. Can we just, it's like, do we need them to give us a damn frickin' warning before we make up our own minds about it? It's like the Donald Trump speech last night on MS Now, CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC. They tell you, they're not going to air it because, whatever, and then we'll just tell you about it afterwards. This is kind of the same damn thing, and I wish they'd just knock it off, to be quite honest. This is a classic movie. I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen the entire movie, to be quite honest. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think I've actually seen the entire movie Gone with the Wind.
Well, you need someone to sit by you if you watch it.
Yes.
And tell you what's good, what's bad, and let you know you should be shifting the screen.
Absolutely.
Things don't go the way that they want.
By the way, coming up on the other side of the break, one of the best trailers that I have seen, a movie that I have been looking forward to more than any, I think, in recent time. It is the biopic of Sylvester Stallone. I Am Rocky. I'm going to share a little bit of that, talk to Christian about that on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Life can be.
Gotta rejoin.
Dig it.
One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to the word unhoused.
How about new?
Name?
I'm Mike. Acting's what I live and breathe for. And I gotta have faith in myself.
You need to show everyone who you are.
I like this girl, Sylvester.
Sylvester?
That's right, his real name.
It's got a nice ring to it. Sylvester Stallone. It's like Peter Parker.
Are you delusional? You don't got the looks to be a movie star. Not to mention, you talk like you got rocks in your mouth.
Yeah, I know I don't look like Einstein, but I got a brain. The only way for me to get to show people is me to have to write a script for myself.
Yeah, so do that. Write a script. And give yourself the best part. There's something big here.
You wrote this in 3.5 days. This is freaking good. Touch someone like Chuck Bronson, or we could do Eastwood.
Guys, I play Rocky.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh my God, this looks good. Christian, Toto, have you heard about I Am Rocky?
Yeah, I agree. You know, at first you want to be cynical and say, oh, it's just recycling. Instead of remaking Rocky, they're telling you the behind the scenes. I mean, technically, yes, but that's a great story. Sylvester Stallone is a great inspirational story, a guy who wouldn't give up, who refused to take money to not play the main character. There's so many great elements here. It's really impressive, and I can't wait to see this movie. Also, this is by the director of the movie Green Book, which I liked a lot, and it's not really, I guess the usual suspects didn't like it. But
yeah.
Peter Farrelly used to make comedies. He still does make comedies.
Really?
He did, Kingpin and Dumb and Dumber. And
Oh,
all those
God,
things.
yes. Those are like Gen X classics. Those are like Gen X classics, man.
Yeah, no, everything about this movie, and the actor, his name has escaped me. He's new in the scene, but
he nails Stallone.
Like Stallone.
Dude.
He looks just like Stallone.
Oh, my God. Well, if you listen to the story of Stallone, he writes that frickin' one of the most legendary, best inspirational movies in the history of cinema in just a few days, presents it to the studio. They try to buy it for $25,000, then $100,000, then $200,000. He goes, no, I'm going to play it. And they got all these stipulations. You got to stay on schedule. We're going to replace you, the whole deal. And he fought, and then he became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. An amazing story. And this is, of all the biopics I could imagine, what a beautiful combination of not only telling the story of Rocky, but telling the story of Stallone creating Rocky. Holy hell.
I couldn't agree more. You know, through the years as I've covered Hollywood, Stallone holds a very special place in the culture. People don't just love him. They respect him, they admire him, and they look to him for inspiration. I think one of his things he often says is just keep punching. That spirit is all about Rocky, but it's really in his DNA. This is the movie we need, something inspirational. And, you know, I hope, listen, if it could be a dud. I haven't seen it yet. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But if it's good, and the critics really attack it for being, it's too this, or it's too that, or it's too rah-rah, or the critics sometimes, you know, they bring different criteria to the gig.
You know what? They're just a bunch of little biatches. Here's Sylvester Stallone earlier this year. This is part of a political speech, but I want you to hear this symbolism in Rocky, and I need to watch the movie again.
When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives.
What the what? I didn't even notice that. Did you notice that?
No, of course not. It's amazing. And, you know, Stallone is such a fascinating guy. He's an artist. He's a writer. He's an interesting thinker. And, you know, he just turned 80. To be a movie star and a personality and a legend for that long, He's one of a kind, man.
And just think about the generations who go to Philadelphia and climb up the stairs to the library and do the thing. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, there are certain movies that just stay in the zeitgeist for generations. Jaws, Star Wars, but Rocky is beyond that. Rocky is just it's an evergreen tale of it's the ultimate underdog. I remember in high school that I was training and I decided I'd try to do the egg thing like Rocky did. I made it a half a mile before I vomited on the side of the road.
Oops. By the way, my kid plays hockey, and he plays inspirational videos before big games. One day I'm thinking, wait, that's Stallone's voice. What is he doing? He was watching the Stallone video with one of the Rocky films where he was like giving an inspirational speech. Like that's how he transcends the generations. It's amazing.
Just don't let your kid watch Ice Cube Mountain. All right. All right, Christian Toto, tell everybody where you can check out your website and your podcast.
The website is HollywoodInToto.com and the Hollywood in Toto podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your favorite podcast.
All right, it's nice to talk to you, brother. Have a great weekend, all right?
You too.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Ice Cube Mountain. Ooh. Ooh. Hi, guys. I'm feeling a little slappy today. I'm going to a show tonight. I'm kind of excited. It's an actual theater performance. It's supposed to be funny. Gail King, hello. My granny used to drink raw eggs in the drink. No, wrong. She lived to be 97. It wasn't because she drank raw eggs. There was something else. There has to be something else. I am watching from Africa in a country called South Sudan. Well, hi, Gold Machines, Nia Cole. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you. Wow, that's pretty awesome. You're watching, man. Woman, whatever you are. Great to have you here. Troy Ebert Sr., Corporal Max Klinger. Yes, yes, yes. Deplorable Dinosaur, how are you? Scott Davies, what up? Beck Ottenberry, Lady Vu, as always, says, hi, Rob, about this time during the day. 80 and still making great movies. Tulsa King is awesome. Yep, Tulsa King is awesome. Adrian! Yo, Adrian! Stallone was homeless when he wrote the screenplay. Yeah, he was in a lot of. How many were there 5? Were there 5? I'm not sure. But the first one was a game changer. I get like verklempt just thinking about the movie. It was so bloody good. All right, I got to talk. Oh. Diggy. It is the Rob Carson Show. About to wrap things up here. I wanted to mention something. I used to live in Maryland, and Maryland, one of those states that is just completely ruled by leftists. They've got a Maryland General Assembly we call the Maryland General Asylum. I lived in Maryland for 12 years and was paroled and moved to Kansas where schools were actually good. Maryland, they always brag. They think they got great schools. They suck. Baltimore, we now has the second worst school system in America, and now we know that Maryland, and this didn't take much time with Wes Moore, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air head, in just a couple of years of his running as a governor. He is the governor of the state. Dan Cox is running as a Republican. I hope Dan Cox becomes the governor because Maryland is just doing a death spiral in hell. Maryland, second worst economy in America.
A new poll ranks Maryland with the second worst economy in the country. And that's not all the bad news. When it comes to people leaving
a CNBC poll,
the state, Maryland is ranked the 4th most departed state in the country.
Wow.
And now a Montgomery County businessman has had enough. He's launching what he calls an affordability project.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. If you have a household, you can see everything is becoming more expensive. If you're an employer, you can see that everything is becoming more expensive. So I think it's urgent that we actually figure out what's going on and then come up with solutions and try to make Maryland more affordable.
He's convinced that if Marylanders turn up the volume, politicians will listen.
You know, the Democrat Socialists, they think that this is going to win. Whenever this is tried in different states, people end up fleeing en masse. That's just the way it happens, and it's happening all over the country. I was looking for a little soundbite that I put together for the show today. Yeah, here you go. This is a little montage of Democrat Socialists of America, which, by the way, arrests need to start happening, and the Democrat Party needs to reject them from being candidates because they are espousing an overthrow of the government, not a candidacy.
These commies don't even care who they're locking arms with. They're just rounding up enough energy to overthrow the man.
I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for the right things. Like, we're talking about politicians as...
Yeah, the Nazis killed 6 billion Jews, you freaking morons.
I mean...
Oh, it's so funny. We're so stupid. We're Gen Z and we're so stupid.
I don't know about that. I'm like, that's a... I think these are the lines that people are talking about. Some people care about that exact thing.
You'd think.
The commies have it all figured out. Their manifesto, there's no presidency, no Senate, no Supreme Court to keep society in line.
It's not going to happen.
It's anarchy. And it's open season on anyone who owns property.
Our city is turning the corner on tenant power. When we organize, we win results.
Yeah, we're not going to allow them to do that because that act, all of the things that I just said, are only able to be done if the government is overthrown with a war. And we're not going to let it happen. That's all. Watch my TV show this weekend. Rob Carson's What in the World. In the meantime, God bless you. America is founded. Donald Trump, our military. Newsmax for giving me this awesome space. And until Monday, whatever you do, don't catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.